Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's give you some front page news. Now, last night, the Raptors beat the 76ers 103-88. The Mavericks beat the Jazz 102-77. And the Celtics eliminated the Nets 116-112.
I told y'all the Celtics was going to win that series. The Nets have great players, but they're not a great team.
You did.
Steve Nash is terrible as a coach, and I'm glad folks are finally starting to say it because he needs to go. The Nets have no identity. They don't play defense. They have zero chemistry, and they have no real leadership.
I'm just saying, Mark Jackson's out here just chilling. You can definitely call Mark Jackson. He's a great coach. You see what he did for the Golden State Warriors.
I agree.
I think you should give Mark Jackson a try. And he's from New York, so he doesn't care about the press. I mean, Mark Jackson's the guy.
And people keep talking about they don't want to hire Mark Jackson because of his religious beliefs. Clearly, God doesn't feel that way. Because if he was supposed to have a job, he'd have one. So clearly, God isn't in this situation like y'all think he is.
I hate you.
Okay?
What else we got, Easy?
All right, well, Elon Musk is going to be buying Twitter. It's a $44 billion deal. Twitter said Monday they have agreed to sell, and that has the potential to expand his business empire and put the world's richest man in charge of Twitter.
Is that a good investment? Do people on Twitter like that now? Or is Twitter slowing down a little bit? It seems like it's slowing down a little bit.
It's like 300 million users on Twitter. Instagram has more. Facebook definitely has more. But people feel like Twitter is where the conversation starts. Matter of fact, I read an article once that said 70% of all breaking news happens on Twitter.
Now, Elon Musk himself is a high-profile Twitter user. He has more than 83 million followers on that platform, and he's used that platform for years, sharing memes, discussing his companies, insulting politicians. He did spread some misleading claims about COVID. A lot of different things has happened for him on Twitter, and he said he wants to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, and authenticating all humans. And he said in a tweet, of course, that he hopes that even his worst critics remain on Twitter because that is what free speech means.
Now, I see people up in arms about this, acting like it's the end of the world. Is this really a threat? Are people upset that a billionaire is just doing what billionaires do?
I think, everything is kind of up in the air. They don't know what's going to happen moving forward. Some people think it's a great thing.
No.
Some people think it's a terrible thing. Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey has endorsed Elon Musk's vision for the platform. He said Elon's goal of creating a platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is the right one. And so some people feel like that's what we need, a platform where people can express themselves freely.
Yeah, I don't like that, though. Because free speech is great, right? But the problem with it is when people lie, right? And people could throw out these lies and
misinformation.
And the fact that there's no policing on it, people will believe it, and I think that's very dangerous.
But there's no policing on any of these sites.
Yeah, well, a little bit.
There's not.
Yes,
there's no policing on any of these sites.
If somebody's
all of these sites spread
or,
misinformation.
Or somebody's putting misinformation, you can
file a report.
And sometimes a lot of people get banned.
People get thrown in Twitter jail, and there's some trigger words that's on there that they'll make them flag you, and then your account can get taken down, as we've seen on Instagram. From many people who have gotten their accounts taken away.
Because his rhetoric was dangerous.
Right, but if...
Yeah, so there is some sort of policing.
If they don't allow, if there's no policing, he's still going to be on there.
But that's the president of the United States of America. His profile was extremely high. 95% of the people on social media are doing exactly what Trump does every single day to folks. And they don't get that type of backlash because they're not the president.
Right. Some of them do. I think when they found, some of them definitely do get banned and get taken down.
Yeah, actually, Twitter just recently banned some misleading climate change posts as well. So that just happened a couple of days ago.
But how's that Elon Musk's fault,
denying
though?
climate change? Nobody said it's his fault.
Oh, I'm saying because even with him buying Twitter, he
hasn't bought it yet. It still all has to get approved. So.
But he can't stop that. Like, how do you stop that?
Well, I think he's saying he's taking that away. He's taking away any type of policing on there.
No, I don't know about that because they are still going to make sure that you can't just put up like false, misleading information. So I don't know that he's going to not ban anything because he does also want to get rid of the bots. But I think he wants people to be able to express themselves freely. Like, what's the balance here?
Now, by the way, that's something that he said that I agree with. He said he wants to get rid of the bots because he wants to know who's really human. And if you look at some of these situations, like I was looking at the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case, they said that 11% of the tweets that were coming out in defense of Amber Heard were fake. So they were bots. So it's just like people hire these campaigns sometimes on social media to slander people. And it's just like, get rid of that.
All right.
They do that to slander people. They do that to, spread misinformation, to sway elections. Yes,
Yeah.
get rid of that. Get rid of the bots and everything else.
But that's policing it. That's policing Twitter.
I'm with that.
Which I think we need.
If it's real humans with real opinions and they not dangerous, causing people to actually get killed and hurt, fine. But, at some point, we got to have some discretion, too, as human beings, right? Mm-hmm. And realize that some of this stuff just simply ain't the truth. Everything you see on social media is not the truth.
All right, well, that is your front page news. Let's open up the phone lines. Let's have a conversation about this, all right? 800-585-1051. Now, Elon Musk, the owner and founder of Tesla, is purchasing Twitter for how much?
$44 billion.
$44 billion. Now, some of the things that he wants to do is what on Twitter, Yee?
Well, what he says is that he wants to make sure free speech is there, the bedrock of a functioning democracy. He said Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, and authenticating all humans. Twitter has tremendous potential. And
I hope he said he might make it subscription-based. I hope he does that.
And he said he wants his worst critics to remain on Twitter because that is what free speech means.
All right. Well, let's talk about it. Let's open up the phone lines again. 800-585-1051. What are your thoughts? Now, I like subscription based.
I do too. I want you to pay for that free speech.
I'm going to tell you why. Yeah, because I don't think a bot's going to be able to pay for it, and then you could find out where that money's coming from.
And it's going to make other people think about, do I really need to be on here?
Correct.
Do I really need to be on here all day tweeting and slandering people?
800
I got to pay for it?
585-1051. Let's talk about it. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.